I'm so excited to announce that Fooble the dragon will soon be gracing your presence.
Hi! Hi, everybody! Wow! Wow, you all look so amazing. It's so much fun to hang out with you again. Yeah. So just so you know, in case you've never met before, my name is Fooble the dragon, and I am a Lemurian dream dragon. That means I come from the land of dreams. Yeah, right now I'm asleep, and this is all my dream. You all are part of my dream. Isn't that cool? Yeah, so neat. And I'm pretty sure some of you will still exist after I wake up. Isn't that good news? Yeah. Yeah, did you exist before I got here? Oh, you did? Okay, cool. Well, that one person that said no, well, then I'm sorry. This show is the end. I hope you enjoy it. Yeah. But for the rest of you, this is going to be a super awesome, super fun weekend. This is Oregon Country Fair, and it's like the most fun that you can have legally or questionably legally. Yeah, so much fun. Yeah, cool. So let's get some special guests up here. I'd like to ask some of my siblings came up here and they decided to volunteer for the show. So Owen, this is my sibling Owen. Would you come up here and be our first guest? All right, so this is my little sister. She's Owen. She's going to show you how we're going to do this. We're going to ask 3 questions for our interview. So, Owen, do you have anything special that you would like to ask a dragon?
Well, I do.
Yeah?
Have you ever worn a costume?
Have I ever worn a costume? That's a very good question. So, yes, I do frequently dress up. I have this gray human costume I like to wear sometimes. Yeah, it's really convincing. I got this little tuxedo, and it looks really nice on me. But I gotta say, it is really hard to find a tuxedo that's tailored to fit a dragon. Yeah, actually, I looked it up on the internet. There is not a single website on the entire internet that sells dragon tuxedos. Yeah, so I actually had to order a dog tuxedo. Yeah. Yeah, it looks really good on me, though. You all have some well-dressed dogs, I must say. Yeah, very good question. Good question. Any other questions?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
I have another question.
What is it?
Have you ever seen how big an alien from another world that's not Earth?
You know, I have met a few aliens, and some of them are even here at Country Fair. Some of them might even be in the crowd right now.
Wow.
Ooh, they're very friendly aliens, though.
Cool.
Super duper friendly. And most of them are mostly human-sized, but I saw one down in the meadow, I guess about 5 years ago, and it was like 20 feet tall. But it was really was a very good dancer. Yeah. So I recommend, if you see any giant aliens, ask them to dance. You'll learn something cool. Yeah. Good question. Anything else? Question number 3? Well, I'll get back to it. I'll ask you a question. Okay, as a dragon, what kind of dragon powers do you have?
Well, I haven't figured that out yet.
I see. I understand.
I think I know what it is.
Oh yeah, this is the great reveal. We're gonna find out finally.
Love.
Love.
I think it's love.
Love. Wow, that's a great magic power. That's such a good magic power. I bet a lot of you have magic love powers. The great thing about love as a magic power is that love, when you put love out into the world, it actually makes the whole world a better place. Not just the place where you are, but everyone who is touched by that love goes out and makes their world a better place, and then that radiates out again and again and again, and the more love we put into the world, the better the whole world becomes. So I think that is like the ultimate magic power, and I'm so proud of you for choosing that one. That's a really great one. Good. Yeah, that was awesome. Yeah. All right, so have you thought of another question for me? Now, you don't have to use all 3, but you can.
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay. Well, let's talk a little bit more about magic and love, because love magic is so cool. You know, when I was a little dragon, I mean, I'm still kind of a little dragon, but when I was an even tinier dragon, I didn't know what my magic powers were either. I didn't know. I just had to explore and find out. And I discovered that I am actually a fire-breathing dragon. But don't worry. Don't worry. It was in my contract. I'm not allowed to breathe fire during shows at Oregon Country Fair. It's against the law. If I breathe fire here, they call the fire department. And people would be shouting fire. And then I would get fired. Yeah, and it would be terrible. So we don't want that to happen. And plus, like, if one dragon breathes fire, then all other dragons in the vicinity feel socially obligated to breathe fire in response. It's kind of like yodeling. You know, one person on the mountain yodels and the other person on the other mountain yodels, so they know they're there. Well, if I started breathing fire, then these two would breathe fire, and then PG would breathe fire, and then the front gate would breathe fire, and your cars would be totally toast. Yeah. So we don't want that to happen. So I'm not going to breathe fire right here, right now. And for those of you who might be worried, I am a dragon. I do breathe fire, but I never, ever, ever eat kids. That's right. I only eat rainbows. I'm an aurorivore. Yeah, and I am aurorivoracious. Yeah. Yeah. No, I never eat kids because they taste weird. There's no telling where they've been. Yep. And you know, some people are like, hey, Fooble, if you don't eat kids, how do you know how they taste? And I got to tell you, it's a really strange thing, but when kids first meet a dragon, there's 3 basic responses that happen. Either they meet the dragon and they want to be the dragon's friend to come up and tell stories and play games and sing songs, and those kids are super easy to hang out with. And the second kind of kids, they're a little more dangerous. When they see a dragon, the first thing they want to do is grab a sword or a sharp stick and then poke it. Yeah, that happens a lot too. But the third, and perhaps the strangest kind of child, when they first meet a dragon, the first thing they want to do is run up and shove their hand in the dragon's mouth. Yeah, and that's about 1/3 of all human children. That's their instinct. Yeah, and I got to tell you, that caused some problems when dragons and humans first started hanging out. Because you see, in dragon society, it's considered very rude to refuse food when it's offered to you. Yeah. But that's not my jam. I eat rainbows. They're delicious. If I can't get fresh rainbows, then I like to eat soap bubbles. Does anybody else here eat soap bubbles? Have you ever tried a soap bubble? Yeah, they're delicious, huh? No? Oh, I like them, but you gotta be careful. Don't eat too many soap bubbles, because you know what they say. Bubbles in, bubbles out. Yeah. Well, thanks for getting up and joining me, Owen. That was really cool. Is there anyone else who would like a turn asking Fooble the Dragon a question? I'm going to interview you, and you can interview me. You would like to ask me a question? Okay, come on up. It's your turn. Yeah, speak right into the mic so we can hear you. Ah, awesome. I love getting to meet new friends. So what's your name?
Rory.
Hi, Rory. I'm Fooble. Yeah. So what's your question, Rory?
Well, I actually have all 3 questions. I'm going to use all 3.
Awesome. You can totally use all 3.
And also, my first question is, what is it like when you shed scales?
When I shed scales, that's a very good question. Because a lot of different kinds of creatures shed in different ways. Like a snake likes to peel it all off like yesterday's sleeping bag, But not me. What I do is I try to like itch my back up against trees and just shed a few at a time, And it works like that. And during this last couple of years, I had to shed my entire coat. Yeah, I used to be all smooth and shiny, but now look at me. I got scales and spikes. I look so tough and adult. Don't I? Yeah, I look like I could really defend myself from, something small and soft. Yeah.
I just want to point this out there. My throat is not the best, so if you hear a couple coughs going into the mic, it's because my throat is not the best today.
Yeah, all the dust in the trail makes it really hard to breathe sometimes. That happens to me. What's funny is by the end of the weekend, my wizard will probably have lost his voice, but for some reason, I will still have mine. I don't understand how it works, but it happens every year. All right, so do you have a second question?
Well, I just want to point this out there that I have my own kind of fighting and also my own kind of magic.
Whoa. Well, Kung Fu is pretty cool, but we're not going to do any Kung Fu demonstrations at Country Fair. Unfortunately,
that's
Kung Fu
not the kind of fighting I have.
Oh, I see.
I have really good fighting.
Well, tell me about your magic, and then I'll tell you about my magic.
So, my magic is actually to be able to sometimes make a sphere of lightning.
Whoa, that is so cool! I could make lightning spheres, that would be really great
Yeah,
for special
that is
effects.
very cool.
I bet that's super cool. You can go out and chill a mellow meadow in the middle of the night and be like shooting lightning spears in the sky, and all the other people would come out and they'd be dancing around under your lightning spheres. It'd be like a electric disco party. It'd be so good. Wow. That's a really cool magic power.
My second question
Yeah, that's a really good one.
is, how do you actually lift off the ground without meditating really hard? Because gravity.
That's a very good question. You know, a lot of dragons are very good at flying, but I fly like a hefty chicken. Yep. There's a lot of grunting and flapping, but more crashing than flying. Yeah. Hopefully one day I'll grow up and I'll get big wings. Yep. That's right. Yeah, if I get all charged up eating a rainbow, then I can use the rainbow power to fly through the sky, and that's really the only time I get any lift off at all. Yeah. Other than that, it's just grunt, flap, crash. Yep.
I'm gonna say a question, but I'm not actually gonna use my third question yet, but I'm gonna say a question.
Okay.
Which, dang, I forget it.
Oh, that's okay. You can skip that one and go right to the third question.
Third question is, what is it? Wait, this is actually the question that I was going to say before my third question.
This is question 2.5.
What does rainbows taste? Well, what do they taste like?
Oh, rainbows are delicious. Have you never eaten a rainbow?
No.
Oh my goodness, they're so good. And you know, there's different kinds of rainbows too. There's sweet rainbows, and they taste kind of like Skittles and watermelons and popsicles all at the same time. And then there's savory rainbows. They tend to be more like a little sour and spicy, like good Thai food. Yeah, those are my favorite. I love the savory rainbows. Yeah, they're delicious. Yeah, I definitely recommend if you can get out there and get a rainbow, ask the unicorn or leprechaun for permission first, but then just grab that rainbow and slurp it up like spaghetti. Just like that. They're so good, and they're good for you. They're perfect if you want a light snack.
Now I'm going to use my third question.
Okay, third and final question.
The third question, what does it feel like when you grow back your shredded dragon scales?
Oh, it tickles so much. It tickles so much. Have you ever just like been sitting there and then you feel a tickle and you look and there's nothing on you? It's just like tickling for no reason. Has that ever happened to you?
No.
Oh, you should try it. It's great. It tickles so much, and it makes me giggle. And I just lay there just giggling, and I feel like I'm tickling all over. And then I look down and I see I've got new tough-looking scales and spikes, and I'm like, yeah, this is awesome. I get to giggle and look tough at the same time. Pretty cool. Yeah. What a great question. That was so good.
Also, can your other friend be next?
Oh, yeah, I think we could probably invite my other dragon friend up here next. Thanks for joining us. I really appreciate you coming up to have fun with us, Rory. That was awesome. All right. Hey, Sylvan, do you want to turn? Okay, well, you don't have to, though, if you want to save them for later. All right. So in the meantime, while he's thinking of some questions, are any of you familiar with dragon folk music? Yeah. So dragon folk music, it's a little different from human folk music. This is a traditional dragon folk song. It's from far, far back in the past, and this is a sweet little love song from the land of dragons. It goes like this. Thank you. Yeah, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Yeah, that's traditional dragon folk music. It turns out dubstep is cultural appropriation. Yeah. But that's okay. We think it's cute when humans go out in the woods and get all whoa, 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 whoa. You're like, ha ha! Even if it's offensive, it's still funny. Okay, so Sylvan, tell us a little bit about your dragon powers. What kind of dragon powers do you have? So what kind of dragon are you? I notice you're all green. Is that like forest camouflage or swamp camouflage? Forest camouflage, cool. And get your face close to the microphone so we can hear you. Yeah. So forest camouflage.
Kind of forest.
Forest, cool. Is it like jungle or temperate forest?
Kind. I think. Like.
Could be both.
Jungle.
Jungle,
but
nice.
Also like mountain forest.
Gotcha. So as a jungle mountain forest dragon, do you have a special job? Do you like take care of animals or what do you do?
Not really.
No? I heard some rumor that you were an animal rescuer. Do you ever do that? A little bit. Yeah, well, hey, every little bit counts. You know, every animal that gets rescued really appreciates that. So that's super cool. Awesome. So if you could grow any new magical power today, what magical power would you choose?
Magic knowledge, so I know everything.
Magic knowledge, so you know everything?
I want to know.
Whoa, that's so cool. That's such a great idea. That's like wishing for more wishes, because if you had magical knowledge, then you could have the knowledge of how to do every other magic power too. That would be so cool. Man, next time I get a wish, I'm totally wishing for magical knowledge.
Unless the kind of power can only be gotten with a wish, and there isn't a way to get it normally.
I see. Yeah, I wouldn't want to get anything normally. Nope, I only get things weird. Yeah. And now that all you have been, initiated by the country fair, you're weird too. Hooray! We're all weird together. The best thing about weirdness is long ago, weird was actually a very positive thing. It was a compliment. It used to mean that you had control over your own destiny. If somebody was weird, they were like a superhero, or they were a person that had like great potential for the future. So anytime anybody says, you're weird, just be like, thank you, I control my future. Yeah, yep. Yeah, because being weird is like the funnest of the fun, because you get to be free and you get to be true to yourself at the same time. It's super awesome. So I want to encourage you all, release your inner weirdo. Allow yourself to be the fun person that you want to be. Do the things that you love, because the things that you love to do, those are your true magical powers. Yeah. So if you think about close your eyes for a second. I promise I won't sneak up and lick you. I promise. Yeah, so close your eyes for a second, and now imagine that thing that you truly love to do, the thing that makes your heart grow and open up, that makes you smile every time. And it could be anything. It could be making stuff, or hanging out with friends, or preparing food, or sharing food with your friends and neighbors. Anything. It can be anything. Well, that thing that fills your heart with love and happiness is one of your magic powers. And if you do it, the more you do it, the more powerful your magic becomes, and it will make the world a better place doing the very thing that you love to do. Yeah. So do what you love, because that is powerful, potent magic. Yeah. Okay, you can be next. Okay, is there anything else you wanted to say or ask, Sylvan?
Not really.
All right. Well, thanks for coming up and joining me. Yay, Sylvan. That was awesome. Thank you, buddy. Hello there. What's your name? Emily. Hi, Emily. Welcome to the Fooble Show. And right now it's the Emily Show. And that's really cool that we get to do a show together. So, Emily, is this your first time as a performer? Or have you gotten up on stage before? First time as a performer. Let's have a big round of applause for Emily. That's so cool. Wow, I'm so glad that you decided to join me to do this show. That's really cool. So Emily, do you have any questions for me, Fooble the Dragon?
Yeah. What's your magic power?
Oh, I have several. Magic powers. My first magic power that I ever discovered while sneezing is that I can breathe fire. Yeah, 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 and yeah, while sneezing, yeah, it was a hot accident. Let's just say that. But luckily, people knew where the buckets were, and they came over and they put everything out, and they checked on me, and because they weren't sure if my head had exploded or if I just sneezed. It was dangerous. But I know, it's crazy when that happens. But my other magic powers, like my sister, love is one of my magic powers. And my third, and I think perhaps my most important magic power, is imagination. Yeah, imagination. Because think about it. Every cool thing that humans have ever invented, every advancement in medicine or technology, every song, every movie, every video game or book, every cool thing that humans have ever done began in the imagination.
My next question is where do dragons live?
Wherever they want. That's where dragons live. Yeah, because you try stopping a dragon.
I think usually in a cave.
That's true. A lot of dragons do like to live in caves. I personally live in the land of dreams. And sometimes in the land of dreams, I like to live aboard a flying pirate ship. Yeah, it's pretty fun.
My next question is
Wait, let her finish her question.
why are you so small?
Oh, that's a very good question. That's a very good question. A long time ago when humans and dragons first started hanging out, dragons were really big and scary, and the humans tended to attack them with swords. Yeah, and so dragons were like, whoa, we got to change things up a bit. And some dragons, they decided to take the easy route and turn into cats. Yeah. And that's why if you see your cat and it stares at you across the room as if it weighs 10,000 pounds and could kill you with one swipe, it's because it can. Yeah, it's actually a dragon. Yeah. But I decided not to go that route. I decided to make myself as small and cuddly and cute as possible to avoid accidentally intimidating humans with swords. Yeah.
I have another question.
Okay. Yeah, what's your next question?
Why do rainbows taste so good?
I have often asked myself the same thing. And I think that it's just because they are inherently delicious. I mean, it's just what they're made of is yum. Have you ever just looked up in the sky and seen just a beautiful rainbow, just like being like, and then you look at it and you're like, man, I want to slurp that. Does that happen to you?
No.
No, it doesn't? Oh, wow.
My next question is, what are dragons' scales made of?
Oh, well, see, different dragons have different kinds of scales. Earth dragons, they have scales that are made out of rocks and crystals. And then fire dragons, sometimes they have scales that are made of magma or living flame. Ooh. Yeah.
What are your scales made of?
Yeah, my scales are made of kind of a soft, leathery sort of material because I want to look tough, but actually... Yeah, because that's my goal. I want to look like I'm like, "Rah!" But then people come over and like, hey, I want to be a friend. I'm like, yay, we can snuggle.
And I have another question.
Okay, last one. We gotta let somebody else have another. Okay.
What color? What do dragons like to live in? Light caves or dark caves?
That depends on the dragon. Some dragons like to be dark and spooky, but personally, I like sparkly disco rainbow lights all over my cave. If I was going to live in one, it would be full of all those crazy lights you see on night, and we'd have LED stuff all over the place, and it would be so cool looking. That's what I would do. Yeah. But some dragons, they like to be spooky and jump out and be like, blah, but that's not me. That's not my jam. No. I like to be like, hey, everybody, come dance. Yeah. Well, thanks for getting up and hanging out with me, Emily. That was great. Yay, Emily! Yeah, her first country fair show, first performance. Yeah! Oh, you had one more question? Okay, so you can ask your last question, and then we'll let somebody else get up here. What was your last question?
Okay, my last question is did you know that all animals are smarter than they seem?
Whoa! I did not know. I did not know that. I thought that most animals were probably a lot smarter than humans give them credit for, but some of them seem pretty smart.
They all have brains.
They do. They all have really amazing brains, and brains are pretty cool.
They all have their ways to talk. No
Yeah, I
matter
agree.
what, you are one of them. Every human is an animal.
That's
Every
right.
human is an animal.
Yep, absolutely. Some
And
of them
that-
are more animals than the others.
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
Awesome. Well, thanks for getting up and sharing that last fact and question for me. That was so good. Awesome. Thanks, Alwyn. So who else would like to go in? And just so you know, adults can actually come up and do this too. It doesn't have to be kids. Adults can ask me questions. Is there any secret thing you've always wanted to ask a dragon? This may be your only opportunity to ask. Oh, hi. Hi. This is my mom. This
have
is
a question
Marla.
for you,
Oh, I'm
Fooble.
so excited about your question.
So, do you know where naughty rainbows go?
I don't know. Where do naughty rainbows go?
Prism.
Ah!
It's a life sentence.
Oh! Wow, that was like a 2 for 1. I love that. That's a great joke. Cool. Awesome. Anything else you want to ask me? Any other information that you think we
I'm
should
just
share?
going to share with everyone that Fooble does have coloring books and stickers.
Yeah,
So
they're really cool.
If at the end of the show you want to check in with one of us dragons, we'll hook you up. We've got stickers and coloring books. Do you have
Awesome.
the dragon eggs with you, or there's?
You know, we did not bring the dragon eggs. We'll do that tomorrow.
Yeah.
Cool.
So,
yeah, stickers
anybody
and
want to
coloring
do
books.
next?
Who else would like?
They're coloring books.
Yeah, it is an activity book too. There's a maze in it, and there's a matching game. It's pretty fun. So who else would like to get up here and ask a dragon a question? Yeah, you want to? Okay. Let's yeah, come on up. Let's see. Oh, that's okay. Marla, could you bring the mic to this guy? Yeah, you don't have to climb all the way up. She can bring the mic to you. Oh, you got it. Oh, he's like he's done this before. You are a professional. Right on. So cool. So what's your name there, bud?
Jupiter.
Hi, Jupiter. That's a cool name.
Thanks.
Oh, cool. Awesome. Yeah, you guys got a lot in common. So, Jupiter, what's your question?
I forget. Oh wait, my first question is how do you dragons make fire?
Oh, that is a very good question. And different kinds of dragons can make fire different ways. But for me personally, it involves a lot of conscious breathing. Yeah. So what I got to do is I can do the breath of fire like a, and I pump up, and I really got to just like breathe like that for a long time. I'm not going to do it right now because if you get all charged up to breathe fire and then don't, you might accidentally get a backfire. Yeah, we don't want that to happen. That is the third leading cause of death amongst dragons. Yeah, terrible to watch too. It's kind of like a combination fireworks show and wet confetti cannon. Yeah, so we're not going to do that. That's definitely not for the kids show. Yeah, good question. What else would you like to ask?
My second question is how do you dragons I forgot. Wait one second.
That's okay. I'll make it up. With spaghetti. Awesome. Oh, while you think of that, would you?
How do you dragons eat?
Usually very messily. Yeah, especially dragons like me, because look, my hands can barely reach my mouth. I really have to get down there. So usually when I grab a rainbow, I just get my whole face in there, and I'm just like, just like that. Yeah, it makes a huge mess. All the colors go flying different directions. And sometimes I like to just like slurp up one color at a time like a spaghetti noodle. And my favorite part is at the very end when it whips up and slaps me in the forehead. I love that. Yeah, so I eat very, very messily. Yeah. How about you? Do you like to eat messily?
I don't eat metal. I don't eat messily, but my sister kinda sometimes.
Oh, that can't happen. Have you ever just put your face in a bowl of ice cream and go like?
My friends do. My friends do that with cake.
With cake, yeah. It is fun to go to a party and get cake faced. That's a super good time. Yep. Awesome. Good question. Good question. You got another question? Yeah.
Do all dragons fly?
Not all dragons fly. A lot of earth dragons, they like to tunnel under the ground. And some of the water dragons, they like to just swim in the water. But some of them can fly too. Dragons dragons have this cool ability. We're polymorphic, and so what we can do is we can learn to do the things that interest us. So if I'm born and I don't know how to fly, if I dream about it and practice enough, I can learn how to fly. And you humans are a lot like that too. If there's something you think is really, really cool, all you got to do is spend enough time practicing, and you can do it too. Yeah, it's pretty rad. And we dragons are like that too. Yeah.
I have one more question.
Yeah, one more. Go ahead.
What happens if you wanted to fly but you didn't have wings?
Well, there's a couple of different options. One, you can just jump really hard. Yeah. And it's a lot like flying until the second half, which is a lot more like falling. But the first half is just like flying. Yeah. Yeah. But the second way is to use magic. Yeah. And humans have a few different kinds of magic, but one of the magics that humans have is technology. Yeah, a long time ago, people had technology, but they hid it from each other and called it magic. Yeah. Yeah, and so we still have all kinds of magic. Cool. And here's a really cool thing about magic is like we are surrounded by magic all the time. And a lot of it gets cast on us without even knowing it. Have you ever been watching the television and there's like a commercial and it has a really catchy jingle, and then for no reason whatsoever you find yourself wanting like 5 kinds of shrimp or something? You know, like at the end of the commercial? That's because every song is an enchantment. Every commercial you have ever seen is a magic spell that is being cast on you to change the way you think, to change the way you behave. Yeah, and it's not just TV and commercials. It's all kinds of things, like politicians and religious figures. When somebody uses their word and their will to change the world, that's magic. And even video games. Video games for sure have magic. Yeah, when you're like playing a game, you're like, this game's super fun, and then when you're done playing it, you're like, hey, I really want to send these people a lot of money to get more mind bucks or whatever. That's because the magic spell has been cast on you. So it's important to remember to disenchant yourself occasionally, to like wash your own brain so that all the spells that get cast on you, you can throw them away and choose your own enchantments. Yeah. Super important to choose the magic in your life. And one of the best spells you can ever cast on yourself is I can. Yeah. So anything you want to do, you can be like, I can do it. And then you'll be able to learn how to do it. And that's a great spell. Yeah. Yes. No. Well, I didn't bring any rainbow snacks, but I might chew on the roof after the show is done. Because this looks delicious. Yeah, if I can jump up there. I don't know if I can reach that high. Cool. Oh, yeah, it comes down to the ground over there. I bet there'll be a leprechaun protecting it, though. Yeah. Cool. Does anybody else have a question for me? Raise your hand if you want to go. You have one last question? Okay, last one.
Does anyone cast spells to get you?
Anybody's has...
How do the spells come?
Oh, well, spells usually come through words and sound, and sometimes they can come through images or from books and written words and stuff like that. Yeah, but most of the time, most of the spells that we encounter in the world today, they have a lot to do with words. Yeah. And just the way we have to be careful with the way we use our words, because sometimes our words can accidentally, hurt somebody or limit their experience. And it's really especially important that we be careful using the words you are. Yeah, because you are can be the most wonderful blessing and powerful spell, or it can be a terrible curse. Yeah, so make sure if you ever tell somebody you are, follow it up with something good that lifts them up and makes them better. Like, you are wonderful. You are amazing. You are really interesting and the best kind of weird. Yeah! Yeah. Awesome. Well, thanks for getting up and joining me. That was really great. Cool. So let's give him a little second to climb on off stage, and raise your hand if you want to be the next one that goes up, that hasn't had a turn yet. How about you back in the back there? Yeah, it's you. Yeah. Or her. Yeah. Yes. Ooh, that does look good. I should totally do that. That's a great idea. All right. Okay, so let's listen to this next question. So hi there, I'm Fooble. What's your name?
I'm Roosevelt.
Roosevelt, that's a cool name. So Roosevelt, what have you always wanted to ask a dragon?
How old are you?
That's a great question. I am 9 years old. Yeah, 9 years old. I'm pretty excited about it because guess what? Oregon Country Fair is my birthday party. This is my birthday. That's my birthday. Yay! Yeah, I was born from Oregon Country Fair inspiration. Yeah. Oh, in dragon years, I'm barely out of the egg. Yeah, good question. So what's your next question, Roosevelt?
How long can you go without eating?
Oh, it depends. If I'm really active, then I need to eat every day. But I'm also capable of hibernating quite deeply, especially during the off season. Yeah, and so sometimes I can go weeks or even months without eating. But I really prefer to eat as often as possible. Yeah. Yeah. Cool, good question. Anything else?
How old do dragons get?
Oh, that's a really good question. See, dragons are actually immortal creatures. That means they can live forever. But unfortunately, the leading cause of death amongst dragons is boredom. Yeah, if a dragon gets bored, it will explode. Yeah, it's super dangerous. It's kind of like the backfiring I was talking about earlier. It's a big mess. Anyway, so when a dragon explodes, they go into the afterlife or the other side. But the really, really fun difference between dragons and humans is we dragons remember all of our past lives. We never forget any of it. So in between each life, we get to check out what we did and plan for the future. And then we just dive on in the next life. And we're born knowing all the things that we need to survive. You humans do it a little different. You put on a blindfold and spin yourself around 6 times before doing a backflip into the world. Yeah, and it's a little more confusing that way, and you have to kind of start over each time. But we dragons have an advantage like that. Yeah, good question. That was I like these deep philosophical questions. Great work there. Yeah, cool. Anything else? All right, well, thanks for coming up and joining us. Raise your hand if you wanted to come up and ask a question. How about you right there? Let's see, just behind the green dragon. Yeah, oh wait, this green dragon right here, you. Yes, with your hand up, and yes. Yes, you, with your hand up, yes. All right, cool, awesome. What was that? Did I miss one? Oh, I see. So how about wait till the little one does theirs, and then you're next. Okay, so hello there, little one, what's your name? Hi, Quinn. I'm Fooble. Did you have a question to ask me, Quinn? Not yet. You can get back to me. It's totally cool. Oh, yeah. No. Hi. It's so good to see you. Thanks for coming up to join us, Quinn. I really like having you in my show. It's really awesome. Awesome. Yeah. Oh, if you think of your question, you can tell your mom and you can come right back up. Yeah. Hi, Quinn. Oh, I know the pressure is so much sometimes. You can come up again in a minute. Think of your question, Quinn, and you can come join me. All right. So, hello there. What's your name? One more time, a little louder. Nova. Cool. Yeah, speak into the mic. Awesome. So, Nova, did you have a special question to ask me? What did you want to ask, Nova? Yeah, speak right into the microphone and then I can hear you. What would you like to share with us, Nova? Well, we can wait for a second. How about while you think of what you want to say, I will do another dragon folk song. Yeah? Okay. So sometimes I like to make up phrases that make singing dragon music a little bit easier. This next phrase, the song I like to call My Bod, and it goes, purple potato, hot potato. Purple potato, hot potato, purple potato, hot potato, purple potato, hot potato, purple potato, hot potato, womp, womp, the purple potato, womp, 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 hot potatoes, womp, 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 the purple potato, womp, womp, purple, hot potato, yeah, womp, womp. Purple hot potato, yeah. Thank you. Yeah. Ah, you're adorable. You're all adorable. Yeah. Wow. So did you think of what you wanted to say, Nova? Or do you want to give somebody else a turn while you think about it? Okay, I'll talk for a little bit. Oh, would you like to go? Yeah, you can come up and join Nova on stage here for a minute, and you can ask me your questions.
How do dragons sing?
Oh, how do dragons do what? How do we change? Oh, that is a very good question. Changing can be quite difficult sometimes, and sometimes it takes a lot of energy to change. Yeah, and each of us is capable of change, but sometimes it's really hard. And so it takes me a lot of practice to change. And what I like to do when I need to change is I like to take a deep breath, and then I like to visualize the version of myself that I'm trying to become. Like if I want to become a better flyer, then I like to visualize my wings growing. And every time I breathe in, I visualize my wings spreading out and lifting up like that, just like, doing that thing. And then what I do is I give myself positive affirmations. I say things like, I can fly, I can grow my wings bigger, I can be lighter, I can fill with effervescent laughter until I'm so light I can float like a helium balloon. Yeah, and it may not be all the way true right now, but the more I say it and the more I try to live it, the more true it becomes. And so I can use my own words, my own magic spells to cast magic on myself to make life easier and more fun. And that's how I like to change. Yeah, good question. That's a really good question. Very cool. Okay, go ahead and ask your other question.
How do dragons sing?
How do dragons sing? Well, as you might have noticed, in really weird ways. Yeah, so usually in dragon society, the dragons that identify as females tend to be a lot larger than the dragons that identify as males. And so male dragons tend to have high-pitched voices like this, my talking voice right now. So male dragons tend to sing like doo-doo-doo-doop-doop-doop-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo, like that. But then female dragons, because they're so big, they have huge lungs and they can make sounds more like that's how I sing. Yeah. It helps to have your own magical echoes that come along. That's pretty nice. Yeah. Oh, ice dragons. Ice dragons, they sing, it sounds kind of like the tinkling of not tinkling, haha, I heard that. So, no, the tinkling of icicles. Have you ever seen like an icicle hanging off the roof and when it breaks, it goes tink? So ice dragons sing kind of like that, but then it's also kind of like a xylophone at the same time. So it's like like that. That's how ice dragons sing. That's a good question. I've never been asked that before. Okay, last question. What's your question? How do we paint? Oh, well, see, I personally like to finger paint. Yeah, I love finger painting. And so long ago, this is one of my ancient lives from long ago. My first job I ever had, I was hired to paint the nebula. Yeah, I was a huge cosmic dragon back then, and I'm much bigger than you see me right now. And they hired me to put some color up into the cosmos. And so one day I was there, I was painting the nebulas, and I was just getting my hands all over it. I was just like rubbing colors all over the stars. And I looked down at my hands, and I saw that they were covered in rainbows. And I looked at it, I was like, I am definitely going to lick that. And I was... And I've been eating rainbows ever since. Delicious. Yeah, finger painting's awesome. You should try it, but don't eat finger paints unless your parents are like, hey, we made these finger paints out of beet juice, like hippies do. Awesome. That was a great question. Who else wants to get up and ask their question? Oh, they had somebody in line, right, already? Wasn't there somebody that was ready? Was that you? Oh, yeah. So you're next. You're next. Thanks. Oh, there's already a kid in the chair. Okay, you'll be next. I know. It is crazy. Okay, so what did you want to ask?
Oliver Janelle say.
I am not sure what you just said. One more time?
Oliver Janelle say.
That's a really cool thing. I'm not sure. Is there a parent that can translate? Are you speaking unicorn?
That's their name.
Oh, okay. Cool. Well, it's very nice to meet you. I'm Fooble. It's really cool. Did you have a question that you wanted to share with us?
Yeah.
Okay, what did you want to ask?
How do dragons eat and fly?
Oh, how do we eat and fly? Well, like I was saying earlier, we tend to be very messy eaters. Very messy eaters. And different kinds of dragons like to eat different things. Like earth dragons, they like to eat minerals and like to nibble on the bottoms of roots of trees and stuff. And then fire dragons, they'll eat pretty much anything that can burn. And then air dragons, they mostly live on clouds. They just like slurp up the wind. And but me personally, I eat soap bubbles and rainbows all day long. Yeah. And a lot of dragons are much better flyers than I am, and they fly either using huge, vast, impressive wings, or sometimes magic, or sometimes jet planes. Yeah, I think, probably if I want to fly soon, I should probably just, get on an airplane. Otherwise, it's going to take me a lot of practice.
Oh.
That's a good question. Awesome. Okay, last question, what is it?
How do dragons... I need to think a bit.
Okay, you can think a bit, and how about you can come up and ask your questions now. The person that was waiting. Yeah. Go ahead, Anna. Come on up. Yay, I'm glad you get up here. Yeah. Yay, I'm so glad we all get to play together. This is awesome. Thanks for sharing your questions. Awesome. So, Anna, what kind of cool questions do you have for a dragon?
Do dragons like tacos?
Dragons love tacos. Dragons super duper love tacos. And a lot of dragons will actually eat extra spicy tacos just to give them super hot fire breath. Yeah, the first time I ever breathed fire, I was saying earlier, it was because I sneezed. Well, it was because I was eating the spiciest rainbow taco I had ever had. The spiciest rainbow taco. And some of the hot rainbow sauce got in my nose, and that's what made me sneeze, and that's what made me breathe the super duper cool fire like the first time I ever did it. Yeah. Now, dragons do love tacos. Do you like tacos?
Do you guys blow up when you eat them?
Most dragons do not blow up when they eat tacos unless they try to hold in the fire. If you try to hold in the fire too long, boom, backfire. Yeah, big mess. Don't do it. Don't do it. Better out than in. Yeah, good question. Oh, what's your next question?
Where do you live?
Oh, I live in the land of dreams. Yeah, the land of dreams is really cool. It's a lot like this world, but stuff happens a lot faster there. So if you're like in your dream and you're like, I want to go to the store, all of a sudden your dream just changes and you're at the store. And that's really convenient. It makes commuting much simpler. Yeah, but here you have to go through a lot of steps. But this world is malleable too. You can actually make your dreams come true in this world. It just takes concentration and dedication. It's not quite as instantaneous as it is in the dream world. Yeah, but you can totally do it. I have seen people do it. Some of the people in this room right now have done it. Super cool magic. Way to go.
Why are you purple?
I didn't consider that question myself. Like, am I meant to be purple? Am I going to change one day and become some other fun color like blue or fuchsia or this like kind of teal I have on my belly here? But the truth is, I love purple. It's such a fun color. It's like the color of imagination. Yeah, hello there. And so I really, really, really like purple because it reminds me of how magical the world can be. It totally does. Yeah. So thanks. That's a great question. Does anybody else have a question? Okay. How about you with the red tank top on there, right in the middle? Yeah. You're next. Amber. Yeah. Amber, it's you. Come on up. Awesome. Thanks for joining the show. This is really cool. I I like this. I like this style of show. We'll have to do this again sometime. This is so fun. Yeah. So hello there. I'm Fooble, and I hear your name's Amber. Is that correct? Cool. Welcome, Amber. Speak into the microphone so we can hear you. Oh, what's your question?
My question is, how do dragons drink water?
Oh, well, you know, some dragons, it's really easy for them, but me personally, as a fire breather, I have to be really careful when I'm drinking water. I really need to, like, vaporize it and turn it into a steam and then make rainbows out of it, and then I can drink it. If I just try to drink water, then I'll build up steam on the inside, and I'll get all bloated, and then I might explode. Yeah, so I gotta be real careful not to get in the water because, if I got too wet, then pow! It would be a mess. Yeah, but some dragons, they live in the water and they can totally do that without hurting themselves. I admire that kind of skill. Yeah, good question. You got any more? Oh, is it?
How do dragons fly if they have very, very tiny wings?
Oh, well, see, some dragons have very tiny wings and they actually use magic to fly, and then they just use their wings to steer. Yeah. And then some dragons are actually completely hollow in the inside and they're just full of helium like a balloon. Yeah. And so they just kind of float around like a giant dragon-shaped zeppelin. Yep. And then some dragons, they can't really fly on their own, and so they like to jump in catapults and launch themselves across the sky. Yeah. And then they just use their wings to, like, parachutes to slow them down on the way down. Yeah. I should try that one day. Do you think that would be safe? Yeah, you think that'd be good? No, you don't think that would be a good idea? No? Awesome. Well, I like the way you guys think. This is really good. So, did you have any other questions? Yeah, what did you want to ask?
How do dragons lose their teeth?
Well, dragons mostly lose their teeth for biting off more than they can chew. Yeah, that happens to humans sometimes too. Yeah, but sometimes, if a dragon just gets too excited about something and they just try to over chomp, then it can really damage their teeth. But as a aurora rainbow eating dragon, really the hardest thing I ever have to chew is a soap bubble, so I don't think I got much to worry about there. Yeah. And then, since I'm a fire breather, I actually use flames to brush my teeth. Yeah, it's a pretty good way to clean out your mouth. I mean, I don't recommend it for your humans. You have a really soft kind of mouth. I have a really rough, leathery mouth, so flames work. Yeah. What's that? Oh, well, did anybody bring any bubbles? If you blew some bubbles, then I could eat them in the air while I'm doing my finale song. Yeah, cool.
That would be crazy.
That would be super crazy. Oh, you forgot your bubbles? Okay, that's all right. Imagine that I'm eating bubbles while I sing this song. I'm going to do a pop song about eating bubbles.
Okay.
Okay, here we go. I'm going to listen to my echo for a second. Awesome. Well, thank you all for coming out and joining me here. Thanks for being brave and getting up on stage, being part of your first Oregon Country Fair show ever, because that's what it's all about. We come out here and we create this as a team, as a family, and we all do it together. So thanks for joining in the magic. Awesome. Oh, okay, so I will take 3 questions from the audience, 1 from each person. So how about, what did you want to say? Oh, just one. You get 1. Can fire dragons go in water? It's super dangerous for fire dragons to go in water. Oh, in lava? Yeah, totally. But I can't. I'm too soft for that. That's a good question. Okay, how about you with the pink shirt and the pink glove? Yeah. What's your question? What do my legs look like? They look a lot like my arms, only a little chunkier. And yeah, and how about you? What did you want to ask? With the green wings. You forget. Oh yes, why I have a split tongue. It's so I can taste my surroundings. Yeah, I don't have nostrils and smell, so if I wanted to find the cookie booth, I have to lick the air until I find it. Yeah. Well, thank you all for coming out. I'm gonna let our neighbors next door do a cool music set. I'll be back at 5 o'clock tomorrow. Thanks for hanging out with me. Bye, everybody. Bye.